This is a book and its name is Ho'oponopono, Your Path to True Forgiveness. So I'm starting with chapter 1. Can you afford forgiveness? Unforgiveness. Can you afford unforgiveness? In ancient times, Hawaii was almost completely devoid of mental and emotional disease. And if you read the earliest reports of the first missionaries and the first visitors to these islands, they found a group of people who were physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually very healthy. And of course, people did get sick and people got hurt, but health and wellness on all levels were the norm. One of the most important spiritual teachers I have had in my life, Uncle George Niope, explained that the system in place to facilitate holistic healing at that time was so thorough and so complete that people experienced spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical wellness. He also pointed out that the Hawaiians' definitions of health transcended the physical body. One of the cornerstones of this system was the concept of being pono, for which there really is no good English translation. Basically, pono means to feel right with a person, with yourself, and even with the world. And it did not mean right as in I am right and you are wrong, but rather it's the sense that you are connected to and in harmony with nature, your community, your friends and family, and yourself, and you feel at peace and comfortable in your own skin. You feel acceptance and appreciation for everything and everyone, and you feel balanced and a profound sense that all is well. When you feel pono, you are connected to your heart, and your decisions and actions are driven by integrity and an awareness of what is good for the whole. Pono is feeling profound respect for all, and with it, a deep sense of self respect. But Pono is not just a characteristic that you have or you don't have, or badge you earn once and you are done. To be Pono is an active process of staying aware of who you are being in the world. Are you acting in harmony with others? Do your choices reflect your deepest values? Are you being the best self you know how to be at this point in time? John Kaimikau, one of my other spiritual teachers who began teaching at our Huna workshop in the late 1980s, had a very specific view on the importance of being Pono. He said that for the ancient Hawaiians, being Pono was not an optional. It wasn't some distant state that you found only when sitting on your meditation pillow. It wasn't a feeling that you might have every once in a while if the stars align. Being Pono was a basic necessity of everyday life. Ancient Hawaiians believed that being Pono was critical to the physical, emotional, and mental health, and that it was always in reach. When they did not feel Pono, they recognized it as a sign that something was off, and they did something about it to bring themselves back into harmony. And that something was Ho'oponopono. Ho means to make, so Ho'oponopono means to make right. When you double the word pono, you increase its meaning, so it's not just tolerating others but being in total harmony with them. It's not just feeling okay about yourself but feeling deep respect for who and what you are. It's not just giving lip service to your values but living them daily, and it's being right with yourself and others on all levels. And when to use Ho'oponopono, So Ho'oponopono was and is primarily used in three instances. The first instance is with a person who has wronged you, which is the bulk of the focus of this book. And to become a doctor of integrative psychology, I did my dissertation research in this Ho'oponopono using individuals who had been wronged by someone, and that someone is called a transgressor, someone who has gone over your boundaries, who has done wrong to you. In my study, we measured unforgiveness. Unforgiveness is holding on to grudges, and it's feeling I want to get away from you, I want to get you back. Whenever I think of you and what you did, I get furious. After our subjects experience the process of Ho'oponopono, we were able to measure a statistically significant reduction in that grudge or that feeling of unforgiveness. And to put it in plain English, people were pissed off. And after Ho'oponopono, they were no longer pissed off at that person who overran their boundaries. And today, Robbins now talks about Ho'oponopono from his stage and about how it helped to heal a negative situation in his life. Joey Vitale worked with Dr. Hugh Lane, and Dr. Hugh Lane studied with a lady named Mora Semyona, with whom my father also studied. And this Mora Semyona dedicated her life to teaching Ho'oponopono. For all of them, the primary focus has been on using this Ho'oponopono for a transgression. So even though there are other times to use this Ho'oponopono, much of the material of Ho'oponopono has that same focus of working with someone who has wronged you. In ancient times in Hawaii, you also did Ho'oponopono with someone you loved because you wanted to be connected with them and to deepen and improve your relationship. And as I write this, my son is 17, a young man now, yet I remember him clearly as a very young boy. And when I wrote my first book, The Foundation of Huna, he was a child, and I wrote about him in that book. My daughter had just been born, and I love those memories of my children being young. I don't want to see them as babies anymore. I want to see them growing up, becoming young adults, and therefore I do Ho'oponopono on a regular basis with them to reconnect with them as they grow and become elder. So we'll discuss in this book reasons why you would do this with someone you love, someone that you are connected with, and the benefit of it, as well as stories of people who have utilized this in their relationship. Third situation where you would use this is with someone who has passed away. In this ancient culture of Hawaii, it was thought that when someone passed away, when you were connected with is now an empty vessels with no energy coming back to you, you want to release the person who has died and let this person live on in your memories. To become Pono with them is to gain completion. So in the case of death, the process is about gaining completion, becoming Pono with the loss of this person, then connecting with them in your memories.